All right, what's up, everybody? We back again. It's Friday. Had to let y'all hear some mic real quick, get us set right before we dive into all this good stuff I got for you guys today. So one of our members have requested that I do first-time homebuyer program. Hopefully he's in today's class. I'm covering the state he wanted, which is Idaho. And then we'll dive into that. But first, before we do that, I'm gonna bring on one of our Well Squad members of the week real quick. Just to have him kind of go over his story really quick, give his point of perspective from being in the Well Squad, following Chris, and all that good stuff. So my guy, Vincent, let me go ahead and see. Vincent, are you on here right now?
Yep. How's it going, man? How we doing?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good, brother. I'm doing well. It's Friday evening and just hanging out, getting off work here. So not up to too much this evening.
Okay, well, man, first and foremost, I appreciate you coming on. I know we've been trying to fit something that works your schedule, so I appreciate you coming on today and tell the squad kind of a little bit about your story. So you had messaged me a little bit about your story about finding Chris. I think it was like about 5 years ago or something like that, and how he just kind of opened up your eyes to this whole money side and a lot of what we talk about. So go ahead and kind of tell the people a little bit about yourself and kind of what your journey has been like in the Well Squad.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first and foremost, appreciate you having me on tonight and appreciate you allowing me to speak my mind a little bit here on my experiences. But yeah, like you said, so it's crazy now thinking about it. But I found Chris on Twitter probably coming up on 5 years here in September now. So it's crazy to think about. But knew him, or I guess got connected to him on Twitter. And at the time I was a sophomore in college. I went to school at North Dakota State University. And at the time was looking at getting in the career of potentially coaching college football, but really didn't have a sense of direction, which way I wanted to go in life. And so it was really just a big point for me from a money standpoint. My parents never talked about financials. It was never a household conversation or anything like that. So really just opening my eyes to the stock market and kind of everything that was there. I mean, I was at a young age, so I really didn't even have an idea of everything that was out there, and I still probably don't. But at that time I ended up, he was doing some drop shipping stuff. And so I got into that, and that was kind of what fueled me and allowed me to get out of college debt free. So I thought that was awesome. And just from that perspective, I feel like I owe the world to Chris. So I've tried to stay in contact. I did end up getting into college coaching. So I coached college football for 2 years at the University of Sioux Falls down in South Dakota. Did that and really had a blast doing that. But I think just from really getting exposed to some of the stuff that this group has brought to my attention of being in control of your schedule, just living the lifestyle that you want to live and really being in charge of that. I think that was something that became more and more apparent to me, and that something that probably wasn't going to happen in the world of college football. Mm-hmm. So thinking about myself in a long-term career, I ended up making a career switch and became a financial advisor through Northwestern Mutual. And so through that now, I've just continued to gain traction on understanding financials, having a good sense of that. And, I think it's crazy to call myself a financial advisor. I've been in this career for less than a year, so I really don't think of myself as one. But, I think it's just like trying to still absorb everything that comes through the group chat and, whatever it is, financials or anything else out there, just always trying to absorb it and continue to grow. But it just kind of opened my world up to where I am now. And I don't think it would have been the same if I wouldn't have ever been across Chris or been across this group.
How long have you been a part of the Well Squad?
So, God, I'm trying to think, because I don't even know if when I came across Chris, he had the Well Squad going. I think it just started like maybe 2019, January of 2019, I think. And I joined as soon as he started and just started going out. Like I said, I was in college at the time. So it was just trying to absorb everything as as a young mind, and really didn't know that much, but definitely learned a lot along the way.
That's good. So what parts of the Wealth Squad would you say you're most active in? Are you more on the stock market side of things? Are you more on the financial side? I know you said that you do your own stuff financially now. What part of the group do you have most of your focus towards?
Yeah, so I like once I got into this career field, I think has been more almost taking a step back just from the perspective of I can't technically go in and buy securities like I could beforehand. When I was in college, I did get into options trading quite a bit. And so when I was coaching, to be honest, I made $8,000 a year. So not a lot coaching. But I was able to kind of live off option money essentially. And just, it took a while to really gain the knowledge that I think needed. But by the end of last year, I think I had a pretty consistent pattern where I was being able to take a few $100s off the market every month just from option trading and just kind of supplement my income a little bit. And so that's where I was really active. I think now more so, it's just joining the general conversation. I think every once in a while I'll join group chats like this and just try to, like I said, absorb knowledge from time to time, but not as active probably as I want to be and probably should be. Probably can do a little bit more to get a little bit more active, but yeah, it's something that is just continually trying to learn more and more.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, like I said, it's good to hear your journey, and like I said, you've came a long way from only making 8,000 a year to where you're at now. So, what do you have for yourself in the future, the next, year, the next 5 years? What kind of goals do you have, or what do you envision for yourself?
Yeah, so now kind of with my financial practice that I'm running, it's kind of just all eyes, all focus on this and really trying to see what I can create through this. And I think through the first year, I've definitely learned a lot and experienced a lot. So it's just continuing to grow, I think is my biggest thing. But I specialize in business planning. So it's just continually trying to grasp more and more of that. I think it's something that I work with a partner that's been in this business for 10 years now. And so he's obviously a lot more knowledgeable than I am. And so just continually trying to grow, and especially in the business side of the financial world, just trying to grow in that side of space. But yeah, I think for the future, just continuing to grow my practice and eventually get to a point where I can kind of continually step back and really just do the things that I want. I think that's, like I've said, the biggest takeaway I've had from this group or the Wealth Squad is just being able to go out and live the life that you want to do ultimately. And no one wants to go work until they're 60, 65 and then go have 15 years. But
Right.
that's not the goal for me, So eventually getting to that point where I can kind of just take steps and step back and have a family and kind of live that lifestyle. So yeah.
Can you are you taking people outside of the Dakotas, or can you only work with people that are in your state?
Yep. So I do run a national planning practice. I think I have licenses now in 10 different states. So it's primarily the Midwest, but I do work with a few clients down in Florida and then like Arizona, California. So it's a little spread out throughout the US, but kind of focused
Okay.
primarily Midwest.
How can members find you if anyone's looking to possibly work with you or connect with you? Is that
Yeah, for sure. So I can definitely throw like my Twitter in here afterwards, but you can definitely get connected to me just through my Twitter, shoot me a DM or something. We can chat through that. Otherwise, I can shoot my email, and if anyone wants to reach out to me afterwards, contact my email. We can definitely get in touch that way as well.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Please do that. And once again, congratulations, man. It's Chris is my best friend. So I've known this guy, he used to sleep on my couch. And I remember when he was, living in the barracks, and he would always be talking about, his vision for himself. And, I always tell people this, he's someone that if you're trying to get yourself in a better position financially and really open up your mind to what the possibilities are outside of a 9 to 5. And, I know we always talk about outside of a 9 to 5, and I know there's a lot of people out there who love their job, and it's more than just the 9 to 5, right? Because when you work the 9 to 5, there's a lot that comes with it. You know, you got to ask permission for a lot of things, and, you know, you may not be able to do this and do that. So it's more than just getting outside your 9 to 5. It's getting your time freedom, getting your location freedom, and, you know, all that together, getting that financial freedom, right? That's the name of the game, especially people that have families. And it's like, I have people that come in all the time and are traveling, and they always ask me, it's like, how are you able to just, you know, if people come in for 2 straight weeks, you know, how are you able to do what you do and hang out? And it's like, it takes time. It's a process that you have to put in the grind, you have to put in the time. So it's always good to hear other people's perspectives, you know, finding Chris, you know, on social media, and then buying into what he's talking about and what he's been preaching, you know, since he's been on social media. So it's good to hear your story. Congratulations from, you know, getting to where you're at right now. You know, it seems like you have bigger goals and aspirations for yourself, which is great. And I want to keep up with your journey. So please share your social media and ways for people to connect with you, because like I said, I have people that might want to connect with you, and then also maybe some members on here might want to connect with you as well. So keep your foot on the gas, man. Congratulations. And I look forward to talking with you soon.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate the time.
All right. Take it easy.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So like I said, that was one of our Well Squad members of the week. Vincent was selected. Really cool story. Like I said, it's always good to hear your guys' stories, right? Everyone has a story. Everyone comes from somewhere. Hold on, let me turn this fan on real quick. It's cooking. But it's blazing out here in Vegas, y'all. But everybody has a story, right? We all come from so many different backgrounds. And one of the things that I seem to hear a lot is a lot of people just come from families and situations where nobody is really talking financial freedom. It's like, you know, so many people, you know, so many of our parents and grandparents were just used to, hey, you go to work, you follow what you're supposed to, you retire possibly at 65, and then, you know, you enjoy life after that. It doesn't have to be that way. And I know a lot of people that do it that have 9 to 5s. You know, it's not necessarily whether if you're 9 to 5, if you're in the military, if you start your own business. It really doesn't matter what route you go. Once you start seeing what the bigger picture is, it's like buying more assets than liabilities. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but it's really not. It's hard for people, you know, especially when so much is put in front of us as far as spending, right? It's like there's always a new iPhone, the new MacBook, new cars, new electronics, new this, new that, upgrade this, upgrade that. Everything is focused around spending, 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 and spending is at an all-time high. Spending is at an all-time high. Debt is also at an all-time high. So it takes a very responsible person to kind of sit down, set themselves a budget, and live within their budget, live within their means. A lot of people like to, you know, keep up with the Joneses or whatever the case may be. And I'm not one to knock anyone on how they decide to spend or how they decide to live or do with their money. But it's like, at what point do you wake up and like, look, I'm in the same position that I was in last year. I'm in the same position that I was 5 years ago. Like, not anything has changed. It's like, yeah, I might have these materialistic things, but what in your life has upgraded for yourself? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. That's what we're all about. You know, that's what we're about here in the Well Squad is, you know, financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. Some of you guys have families out there. Some of you may not have families, but it's like, if you do have families, don't you want to be able to spend as much time with your kids as you can, go to all their sporting events or whatever type of events they have going on? Or if you're, you know, solo, don't you want to, you know, live however you want to live without having to struggle month to month, be able to take trips when you want to, be able to help out your family members, help out your friends, you know, do whatever you want to do, be where you want to be, and spend that time with who you want to spend it with. So that's kind of what we're all about here. So like I said, it's always great to hear guys' stories. And that's just one of them. I know a lot of you guys have told me a lot of your stories, and I enjoy reading all of them, hearing the struggles that a lot of you guys have came from. Life is hard, and life is just going to continue to keep getting harder. You know, the cost of living keeps going up. Like, it's never going to go down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like things continue to go up. So we have to put ourselves in the best positions possible so we don't have to continue to keep fighting just to survive, right? At what point are you trying to get yourself out of survival mode? So anyways, that's my little spill on that. Let's get into this real estate talk. So one of our members, I don't know if it was Justin. I believe it was Justin. If it was you, can you let me know in the chat? But, you know, he's from Idaho. He wanted me to cover the first time home buyer program for the state of Idaho, which is a really good program. I was looking over it. It's really simple, straight cut and to the point. If any of you guys are out there and you guys want me to cover your state, just let me know what state you guys are from. There's been about 15 to 16 states that I've already covered. Some of them, the programs have changed. So I don't mind going back and covering these programs. The reason I love covering these programs so much is because a lot of the members that have closed deals recently have been using these programs. And the most recent member was someone, he lives out in Virginia, and he actually got money back. He ended up getting $1,000 at close, and that was to get the property, get the house. It was a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath in the state of Virginia. He used the first time home buyer program, down payment assistance. He also took some extra home buyer courses to where he was able to, they cut him a check for $1,000 at closing in this state of the market that we're in right now. You guys see everyone talking about, you know, it's a crazy market. Rates continue to keep going up. So, you know, for some people, they would say it's a difficult time to buy. But if you're utilizing these programs, if you're educating yourself, figuring out different ways, you're not going to have to worry about that, you know, that difficult side of things. So, have I gone over Maryland? I can't remember if I went over Maryland or not. I believe so. I'm not too sure. They're all in the Well Squad University section. Just type in first time home buyer and then just see the ones that I've done. I've definitely covered all the big states, the New Yorks, Californias, the Texas, the Florida, covered Ohio. I believe I covered Washington State, and a few other ones. Like I said, I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I believe I covered Jersey as well. Yeah, so they're all uploaded, but my goal is to go through them again for you guys. And like I said, if you guys are in a specific state and you want me to cover it, just let me know. And then also the easiest way for you guys to go ahead and do that is just go into Google, type in first time home buyer program and whatever state you're in. So first time home buyer program, Maryland, first time home buyer program, Texas, first time home buyer program, North Dakota, you know, and then you can also type in down payment assistance programs, because sometimes the first time home buyer programs may not cover the down payment assistance if they do it through a different organization. So also type in down payment assistance program, you know, wherever it is you're at. Oregon, down payment assistance program, Nebraska, right? They have them. They're all going to look different. The requirements are going to be different. Some states are going to be better than others. There's so many different ways, and some states will allow you to get up to a 4-plex. Some only have it to where you can get a single family home. Some you can get, you know, mobile homes. Some you can get homes built. So every state is going to be different. You just kind of have to dive into it, get the information, go back, check the states that I've already done. I've literally given every state that I cover, I give phone numbers, you know, websites, emails, all that stuff. I cover the basic stuff for you guys. And all you have to do is just follow through. So today we're going to dive in into the state of Idaho. So I always tell people it doesn't matter if you live in the state of Idaho right now or not. Just stay and get the information. You never know where life will take you. You never know if you'll ever end up in Idaho. You may have some friends that are out there. Somebody may end up there that you never know. So if you have the information, and it's like, even if you don't utilize it within a year, 2 years, 3 years, I know if you guys stick around and just get this knowledge, if something happens in the future, you're like, damn, I remember taking a class with Ace, him talking about first time home buyer program for the state. Let me just kind of go refresh my memory real quick and see what they have, because, you know, obviously it changes every year. So at least once you have the information, the knowledge, it's hard to unlearn when you learn something new, right? And then, like I said, if you guys want to take the time, you guys can also go to the HUD.gov website, type in your state, and they have a lot of programs on there as well. Foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, all that good stuff. There's so many programs out there to get into real estate besides you just having to put down, you know, 3.5%, 5%, come up with 10%, right? Some of you guys live in states where real estate is really high. It's hard to find anything. You know, if you guys live in like the Colorados or the bigger states, you know, it's going to be hard to find properties under 500,000. But if you guys are in those Midwest, down south, you'll have a lot better chance of finding properties under 500,000. So today we're going to cover the state of Idaho. If there's a specific state that you guys want me to cover, just let me know. You guys can say it here in the chat right now, or you guys can DM me in the Well Squad, and and then we'll go from there. It's a HUD.gov. I'll send it to you guys here. Give me 1 second. This is probably one of the best websites you guys can go to. They have so many programs. Hold on, let me send it in the chat real quick. Whenever you guys get a chance out, after class, or if you just kind of want to scroll on something else, go check that website out, you guys. They have a lot of great programs on there, and you can go all the way and specify it for your state specifically. That's going to be your best bet. So give me 1 second, so I can share my screen. Where are we at? Happy Friday to you guys. I hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys are ready to use this weekend to get after your goals. I'm actually starting something new. I'm that person always asking people, when's the last time you tried something for the first time? And I'm actually going to be doing something for the first time. I'm going to be getting outside of my comfort zone. I like to always push myself, get outside of my comfort zone. So hopefully you guys start attacking whatever it is you guys want. All right. So this is for the state of Idaho. They have a really great program. And as you guys can see, the very first thing, as much as $35,000 in down payment assistance, which is great, but let's get into the nitty gritty. Hold on, let me send this website in the chat. And like I said, this is specifically for my guy, Justin. He asked me for it. He's been asking me for it multiple times, so I'm able to finally get to it. But anyways, so here's the state of Idaho's housing and finance website. So they have a lot of different programs on here. If you guys know anybody who's homeless, Idaho is actually pretty good with, trying to fight the homelessness, especially with how Boise is growing. And then with Boise growing, a lot of people are going to the smaller towns of Idaho, like the Twin Falls, Pocatello, Meridian, Nampa, kind of like all over, right? Because what's happening is a lot of people are selling their homes in California, selling their homes in Seattle, or possibly even Portland, and they're migrating down to Idaho because they're able to get more home than they would in those areas. So what it's doing is it's causing the real estate market to skyrocket out there, which has been doing the last probably since about 2018, about 2017, 2018, the Idaho real estate market has gone up. And Justin's in here. And if you've lived out where you're at your whole life, I'm sure you can attest to this. I'm sure you've seen the craziness that has happened even where you're at, from the simple fact of how much Boise is growing. It's affecting a lot of the other areas outside of Boise, just for that simple fact. So I'm sure you can, attest to that and let everyone know that that is factual. Hold on while I keep bringing this up. All right. So anyways, here's the website. I sent it to you guys in the chat. Whenever you guys want to, you can go through, take a look at the different tabs that they have up here. Like I said, it's the same down here, all the different things that they have going on. Very simple website, not too much going on here. What we're going to be specifically talking about is the home buyer section portion. And one thing I like to cover before I dive into the down payment assistance, and you see they offer up to 7%, which is great because most of the time you're going to come out of pocket about 5 to 7% is what it's going to cost you to get a house based on the type of loan you get. So let's say you qualify for FHA, which means that, if your credit is good, your debt to income, all that other stuff, you would have to put down as low as 3.5% if you check all the boxes, right? So you would put down 3.5% towards your down payment, but you also have what's called closing costs, which go towards fees from the lender. So those fees come out from anywhere from 2 to an additional 3%. So you have your 3.5% for your down payment, then you have this other 2 to 3% for your closing costs. When you put those two together, it leaves you with anywhere between 5 to 7%. It's just going to be based on your state, what all you have rolled into your loan, what type of loan you have, how much down payment you put, all these good things. But you can figure it's going to cost you about 5 to 7% of the value of the home. So every $100,000 worth of home that you find, you'll have to come out of pocket anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 if you qualify for all those things, right? So it's going to be a lot of factors into it. If you guys aren't familiar with the FHA, I have a class on that. If you're not familiar with conventional home loans, I have a class on that. If you're not familiar with VA home loans, I have a class on that as well. They're all in the Wealth Squad University section. Most of the classes are, an hour to 2 hours at most. Go get that knowledge. It will help you when it comes to this stuff. So one thing that I like to touch on really fast is this home buyer tax credit. This is something that I found out about like 2 years ago, I want to say 2.5 years ago, something like that. I wish I would have known before, because you can save as much up to $2,000 per year on what you pay in taxes on your property. It's going to be based on how much you pay and all these good things, but it would be for the time you live in your home. So most home loans are for 30 years. So you figure if you're able to qualify to save that max $2,000 for 30 years, you do the math. That's $60,000 that you could potentially save on something that you're going to have to pay anyways, right? Unless you're a veteran living in that specific state to where you don't have to pay any taxes. That would be something very beneficial to you, even if it's saving 500 or 1,000, whatever the case may be. If you can qualify for it, and if you're already getting a home in the area that qualifies, do it. You have to do this at the time that you're buying your home. You can't buy your home and then turn around and try to submit this paperwork. So please check that out and see if you guys qualify. Like I said, any type of way to save money is going to be good. So anyways, go through, check out this stuff, some home buyer education, some low mortgage insurance, loan servicing, all that good stuff. But today we're going to talk about the down payment assistance. So this is going to be pretty quick. If you guys know, like the nationwide average for mortgage rates is like 7.1% right now. So they have rates as low as 5.875%, which is really good. They have a way for you to be able to connect with lenders. Let me go ahead and send this in the chat. All you have to do is just put in your zip code. So Justin, all you would have to do is go on here, put in your zip for your area, and then it will be able to connect you with some good lenders for your specific area. Let's see. Oh man, I almost bought a house in 2017. I was an idiot looking back. It was like 80K. And where are you at, Justin? I forgot where you said you are. You're in Idaho Falls. So yeah, so in Idaho Falls, off the top of my head, I'm sure houses are probably going for about 300,000 plus, I would imagine. And you could have potentially got something for 80,000. So, you would have made bank, you would have made, almost a little more than 300% on your money, almost, just by, pulling that trigger. But it's okay, because just like how properties were 80K back in 2017, properties are, I'm just saying 300K. I'm not sure without looking, but we'll go look here in a second for you. But just think, if that's what they were about, 6 years ago, imagine what they'll be in another 6 years, right? So that the return might not be as great because we have that big real estate run up, but properties are going to continue to keep going up over time. So let's get you right, and let's get anybody else right who's in that area, so you guys can go ahead and start collecting that good old equity. All right, so we'll just kind of run through this really quick. Down payment assistance for Idaho home buyers. You don't have to deplete your savings to buy a home. With down payment assistance, Idaho Housing can get you into a home sooner with money left over to make your new house a home. Here's how the down payment assistance works in Idaho. So a lot of the states are very similar, but every state's verbiage is going to be different, and what you can do is going to be different. So just like I was saying, all they're saying here is your typical down payment is going to be 3% to 3.5% of the sale of the home, depending on what type of mortgage you get. So if you go like FHA, you'll be on like the 3.5%. If you qualify for your credit is at the right spot and your debt to income ratio is at the right spot, you can get it as low as 3.5%. On the conventional side, you can get them as low as 3%, right? But you got to have better credit, and then you also have to have more funds left over in your savings at the time after the closing of the home and all that other good stuff. Like I said, I have a whole class on that. So that could potentially be anywhere from, like I said, here's an example right here. Down on the bottom, you find a house that's 400,000, which most places are homes are about that. You'd be looking at about 12,000 out of pocket if you qualify for that 3%. Some people don't qualify for that and will have to put more down. So you'd be looking at, possibly 15 to 20,000. So who wouldn't want 15 to 20,000 to get into a home? And like my guy that's out in Virginia, he got money back. So, he got all his down payment and closing costs covered, and he got paid $1,000. Somebody that I helped out in Sacramento, I think he had to come out of pocket. It was like $2,500 or something like that to get a house in Sacramento. So if any of you guys are familiar with California, you guys know how real estate is out there. So that's a steal. So if you were to use down payment assistance through Idaho Housing, you would only need to provide $2,000 of your own funds towards the purchase of a property that's $400,000. Roughly, that's 0.5%. Idaho Housing will provide the additional financing needed. So here's a little note right here. So 0.5% is the minimum contribution of your own funds you would need to provide. Some home buyers elect to contribute more than the minimum, which will just benefit, your monthly payments and, all that good stuff. Your mortgage lender will help you determine what is best for your situation. I just sent you guys in the chat lenders that you guys can reach out to if you're in the area, or if you're in the state of Idaho, put in your zip code. It will put you in touch with lenders that will give you more information about using down payment assistance and all that good stuff. The additional financing is loaned to you via second mortgage or forgivable loan. Second mortgages are paid back alongside your primary mortgage through small monthly payments. Idaho Housing offers second mortgage as a fixed interest rate of 7% over 15 years. Spreading the second mortgage out over multiple years makes the additional monthly payments affordable and sustainable. A forgivable loan is assistance in the form of a zero interest loan that is gradually forgiven over time. Based on how much down payment assistance you need, the interest rate on your primary mortgage will increase. 0.125% interest rate increases for every 0.5% of forgivable loan used. Simple stuff. So in some states, you guys won't have to pay anything back. Some states will completely forgive it over a certain amount of time. Some states will make you don't have to pay anything unless you sell, refinance. I'm trying to think, if you sell, refinance, or do something else. I forget what it is. So every state's going to look different. So this is just what the state of Idaho does. Some quick facts that they have on here. Why should I consider down payment? Just like we just talked about, it's going to save you your money, right? OPM is the name of the game. Save as much money as you can. Why would you, let's say, even if you have it, why would you want to fork out that much money, right? Why would you want to fork out $12,000, $15,000 when you can leverage the state who's willing to give it to you? Why not take it? Why not use it? It's not going to hurt you. And then, like I said, over time, if you want to pay down that mortgage faster, you can take that other money you have. And if you want to pay it down quicker over time, you can do it. You can invest that other money you have saved up for a different situation, whatever the case may be. So that's the number one thing why considering it, right? That's just, chestnut checkers. Who's eligible for the down payment assistance? So it's available to all eligible home buyers, not just first-time home buyers, which is great. To be eligible, some states will require you to be a first-time home buyer, and first-time home buyers are considered someone that hasn't owned a property within 3 years. So that's what most states are saying. To be eligible, a buyer must have a household income at or below 150,000. Some loan programs require lower income, and you have to take Finally Home, which is a home buyer education. So that's going to be the requirement for every state that I've seen so far. You're going to have to take some type of home buyer educational class or course, and that's just going to benefit you down the long run. It goes over simple stuff of, being a home buyer, just kind of get you ready for, all the different things that comes with buying a home, right? Now, as a homeowner versus being a renter, if any appliances or if anything goes wrong with the house, that's going to be on you to cover. If, water heaters are going to go out, garbage disposals, there's going to be leaks, there's going to be electrical issues, you're going to have to replace your roof at some point in time, right? These are things that come with being a home buyer. As a renter, you may have certain utility bills on the person who owns the building that you're renting from. But as a homeowner, now all the utilities are on you. You're also going to have taxes. You're also going to have insurance. You're going to have all these other things that come with having a home. But I have a whole class that runs through all that stuff and shows you guys why it's important to be a homeowner versus a renter. Once you're a homeowner versus a renter, it starts benefiting you being a homeowner after about 2 to 3 years compared to renting. I know everybody's situation is different. Some people may bounce around all the time, whatever the case may be, but I broke down where you'll kind of meet in the middle versus being a homeowner versus being a renter. And then when being a homeowner starts to be more beneficial because you have tax benefits, you have more leverage and things that you can do with the property, you have equity, you have all these other things that come with it. So keep that stuff in mind. Let's see what else. Who is down payment assistance best for? Down payment assistance might be right for you if you have enough for a 3% down payment, but it would completely drain your savings. You have a secure, well-paying job, but saving all the way up to 3% down may be challenging. Down payment assistance might not be right for you if you're not ready for the responsibility of home ownership, or you wouldn't have any money left in savings after you purchase, even with down payment assistance. So take all that stuff into consideration. When you guys get connected with a lender, they're going to explain all that stuff to you. And, they're going to go over, your income, your debts, and kind of help you decide, how much house you'll be able to afford, even with the down payment assistance. How do I get the down payment assistance? You'll need to work with one of the lenders. I sent the link in the chat for you guys. You can find a directory of the lenders. I already sent it, and then they'll go over the whole process with you. So pretty much what they're going to require from you is they're going to require, bank statements, probably 2 to 3 months. They're going to require, W-2s, your past 2 to 3 years. They're going to want to see any type of debt you have. If you pay any type of alimony, if you pay any type of child support. They're going to look at all that stuff. They're going to go over it with you. There's no need to hide whatever situation you have. Once you work with them and you give them your social security number, anything that's tied to your social, they're going to be able to see. So there's no need to try to sugarcoat anything or hide anything. When you guys work with these lenders, it's kind of like a partnership. For me, it was a little awkward at first because, hey, I'm like giving these people my bank information, looking up my social. You have to think, if they're going to give you a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 loan, they need to know who you are, right? That just makes sense. So kind of think of it that way. They're there to help. They're not there to pry and get into your finances. They could care less. That's literally what they do all day, every day, is they see people's bad habits, see how much money people have, all that good stuff. So, you're not going to be anybody special. They deal with, hundreds of people a year. So you're just pretty much a number, and, they're just trying to help you as best as they can, because by helping you, that's how they end up getting paid, right? So keep that stuff in mind. Let's see, what is the minimum down payment required in Idaho? Some programs such as the VA loan, you can put up to 0% down. That's how I got started. Most home buyers will use the FHA or conventional, which is 3 to 3.5% down, or potentially 10% down with the FHA, depending on what your credit is. And then there's also the USDA home loan, which is 0% down, and Idaho has a lot of areas that qualify for USDA. So all my people in Idaho, go check out USDA as well. That could be another good way for you to get started in real estate. I can't remember if I did a class on USDA or not. I believe I did, but a lot of great information out there on USDA. I think I did USDA, but if not, and if you guys want more information on USDA loans, just let me know. You guys would be surprised what areas qualify for USDA. So USDA is rural real estate investing, and you would be surprised what is considered rural. So you just think kind of backwoods, small towns. That's not necessarily always the case. There's a website that you can go to for USDA. You can type in your area code or zip codes, and it will tell you either if your area qualifies, or you can just search by, city. You can look at state and see what cities qualify as well. Easy stuff. Let's see. Can I use Idaho's housing down payment assistance to help with closing costs? Yes, that's the whole point of it. Does down payment assistance increase your monthly payment? Yes, it will, because you're getting that second mortgage. But like we talked about, it's that 15-year fixed interest rate of 7%. And like I said, when you guys go through this process, when you find the lender, they'll let you know upfront before you even start going for a house and all that stuff. You can figure out, once they say, hey, you qualified to be able to find a property for $500,000. One other thing that I always recommend is, if you qualify for $500,000, don't go look for a $500,000 house. I always say go $50,000 to $100,000 less than, what your max is. That way it gives you some cushion room and some wiggle room. That's just a little tip that I have for you guys. Where are we at? So, yep, cover that. Are sellers less likely to accept my offer if I use down payment assistance? Nope, that's not the case. It's just going to be based on, you know, how the market is looking. You know, if it's a seller's market, then, you know, they may not want anyone that's using a FHA loan, right? You know, that's just because they're getting in so many offers and people may be cash heavy. So right now is a great time to start putting in offers because the real estate market has cooled down. Interest rates are getting higher. So a lot of people, you know, are kind of slowing down. Some markets are slowing down, some markets aren't. All you have to do is get with a realtor in your area and they'll kind of let you know if your market is a seller's market or a buyer's market, or if it's just kind of, you know, in between. And that's kind of all they have on this. Like I said, very simple, very straightforward. One thing that they don't have on here, which I don't like, is they don't let you know what type of property you can get. So that's going to be a little piece for you guys. That's all you got to do is when you contact the lender, you can ask them what type of properties qualify for down payment assistance. I'm not sure what it is. So Justin, if you contact anyone and you figure it out, let me know. So, you know, we can let the people know. If they reach out, let us know if you can get a single family home or if you're able to get up to a multi-family home. So like I said, every state is going to be different. Some states allow you to utilize down payment assistance and you can get multi-family homes, which is a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex. So let's see. Can you drop the link again? What link did you want, Angela? What link were you looking for?
My bad. The link to the lending programs, I think you said that you dropped earlier. I came late. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. So it's for the lenders are you in the state of Idaho or going to be out there?
No, no.
It's for, so this one is specifically for the state of Idaho, but if you scroll up, let me see, I'll just resend it. If you go to, it's like HUD.gov.
Okay.
I have it right here. I'm gonna resend it back in the group. So for those of you guys that aren't from this program specifically that I just covered is for the state of Idaho. But for you guys that are in other states, go to HUD.gov, or you can just simply go to Google, type in down payment assistance for the state of Virginia, down payment assistance for the state of North Carolina, down payment assistance for Oklahoma. Wherever you're at, there's going to be some type of assistance where you are. And then also look into, like I said, USDA home loans. Let me bring up the USDA website for you guys real quick. I think it's, I don't know if it's .gov. Yep, it's USA.gov. So go on this website as well and see USDA.gov is also a way to get into properties with putting 0% down. I don't know if all states allow multifamily investing, but the ones that I've researched so far, because I was looking at possibly utilizing this in the state of Nevada. You guys know I live out here in Vegas. I was going to try to get it. There's a town that's about an hour and a half outside of Vegas that USDA qualifies for. And I was able to get multifamilies utilizing that program. So check that program out. Another good one is going to be NACA. That's another good program where it's NACA.com, where you guys can utilize this program. I've helped multiple people use this program to get their first home. Why does this keep coming up? Let me see. I don't know why it's not lit. Well, it's NACA.com. If you guys can see, my computer's freezing up. What they do is they cover down payment and closing costs. So what it is they have so many funds. It's a nationwide program. They have so many funds every year that they get to help people get into homes, right? It's supposed to be for people who are kind of on the lower side financially. So the person that I helped, he makes about $50,000 a year, and his wife makes like $60,000. So collectively they make over six figures, which, that's, I don't think that's nothing. I wouldn't consider that on the lower side of things. And they're also in the state of Georgia. They were able to get a $300,000 home utilizing NACA. NACA covered their down payment, covered their closing costs, all that good stuff. All they had to do was sign up for this program. It was like $75, like a one-time fee of $75. They had to take a class. They got set up with an advisor, and they also, I don't know why this keeps doing that. I don't know, my computer's tripping, but it's another good way for you guys to get into real estate. So like I said, I haven't done a class on this program yet. I want to bring somebody on that's done it. I've been trying to bring my friend on and have him tell his story, but you know, everyone, you know, some people just don't be comfortable talking in front of people. So their main benefits are no down payment, no closing costs or fee, and no mortgage insurance. So that's another big one. So if you guys utilize something like the FHA home loan, you're going to have what's called PMI. That's a private mortgage insurance, something that you have to, it's a fee that you have to pay every month. It's not a big fee, but it is something that you have to pay every month. It's going to be based on the cost of the property that you get, and you have to pay it by utilizing FHA and by putting as low as 3.5% down or 10% down, wherever the case may be. So that's something that you have to worry about. And as you can see, their rates are below market rate. So not only are you saving money by no down payment, are you saving money by no closing costs, are you saving money by no mortgage insurance, but you're also getting a better rate at what the national average is right now. It's about 7.1, 7.2. And it's a real program. It's a very easy program. When you first sign up, you just have to take a online class. It's about 4 to 6 hours. It's explaining the program. They set you up with a counselor, and then they'll just walk you through the rest of it. They'll set you up with the lender, and then once you get that going, then they'll set you up with the realtor, and then you can start looking. So before we start looking at houses in Idaho, do any of you guys have any questions for any of the programs or anything that I just covered? I knew I kind of threw a lot at you guys pretty quick, but I'm just trying to get you guys this information. So do you guys have any questions about this down payment assistance programs, how to find it in your state, how to find other programs in your state, or about NACA, the USDA program, about the home loans, any of that good stuff? Do you guys have any questions on any of that? Let me know before we get into looking at some homes out there in Idaho. And we're gonna look in Idaho Falls for Justin. And then let's see. And if you guys want me to cover a different state, let me know. See, I don't know if I did Maryland or not. I can't really remember, but I'll cover Maryland if I haven't. Yeah, I've done DC and Virginia, I believe. I don't think I've done Maryland. I can't remember. I think I've done Massachusetts, but I can go over Massachusetts again. Let's see what else. The research I was doing seemed like it won't allow multifamily, but I'm not totally sure. Yeah, so even if you can't do the multifamily, like the last guy who just got a property that's a Well Squad member, what he's doing is he got the home. It's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Right now, he's in the process of updating the 1.5 bath to make it completely 2 full baths. He's going to rent out both of the rooms individually, and then each person will have their own bath. And then he's just going to turn like the den or like a closet area into his room. And they're going to, you know, share the kitchen, the kitchen in the living room. Each person will have their own individual room and 1 bath. So he'll be able to rent it out a little bit higher than what somebody would be able to rent out an apartment as a 1-bedroom, 1 bath, because it's a home. But they just kind of have to share the common areas. So that's still a great way to utilize these programs, still bring in income, have these people pay down your mortgage. There's a lot of ways that you can get creative with this stuff. Appreciate you doing this, brother. Of course, no problem. I love doing this for you guys. Yep. I haven't done Oregon yet, but I definitely want to get on Oregon. Real estate has been starting to go up out there, so I definitely want to do that. I've done Florida. We actually have a Well Squad member that he got his house in Florida. Chris K, good guy. He's came on multiple times and told his story. He utilized everything that we talked about in the classes. He attended a lot of the classes. He pulled the trigger and he got a property out in Florida. But Florida has a great first-time home buyer program and down payment assistance. You can pretty much get into a property for free out there. 645 West Elva Street is a duplex I was looking at in town. Okay, we'll take a look at it real quick. So if you get into a NACA loan, would you be able to apply for an FHA loan in a year or two to keep the real estate purchase going? So the thing with NACA, this is kind of the, I wouldn't say downside, but you have to keep it, it has to maintain your primary resident. through the whole time of the loan. So that's the one thing about NACA, because NACA is intended to get you into a home. But the thing is, you can qualify to get multifamilies. So like I said, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize yourself from these programs. So when you go through it, you'll have to see exactly what you can and can't do, how long you have to maintain, or if you do down the road want to get into something else, you know, what would you have to do with that NACA? Would you have to get, you know, refinance into maybe a conventional home loan? So that's something you'll have to ask when you speak with whoever your counselor is, because, you know, they deal with all types of situations, and that's kind of what they're there for. And like you said, there's nothing wrong with you asking the question, whether if you do it or not. It's just something that you want to know for future reference. So that's a great question. Yep, good question. Do you guys have any other questions before we go on to looking at some properties out there? All right, let's see what this property is looking at out in Idaho Falls. Let's see. Oh, this is clean. I'm assuming this one side is probably a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and the other side is probably a 1-bedroom, 1 bath. Let's see. Move-in ready duplex. Right next to the college. That's good. Let's see. The best way to find off-market properties is to deal with a realtor. Most of the time, it's, you know, most realtors they worked with and done deals with, so they're typically going to send them to them first. That's one way for you to find them. And then another way is for you to kind of do what's called drive for dollars and just, reach out to people. It's kind of a lost form of art. A lot of wholesalers, that's what they do. That's part of their thing. So it's not saying what it is, but let's see. All right, it's not saying specifically, but just off of that, listed for sale. So this one, and I'm curious, let's see what rent is going for a 1-bedroom, 1 bath. Falls. Let's do 2 beds. Minimum 2 bed, and type houses. 1,500, 1,200, 795, 1313, 12. So this property kind of looks like it's on more of the 1,200 side for the 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Let's see what the 1 bed, 1 bath. Probably going to be about closer to 1,000-ish. Yep, about 1,000 or so. So 22, you'd be looking at anywhere about 22 to 2,300. It's gone. Let's see, rent here has gone the same. Most places are 1,500 to 1,600. So drive around and look for empty homes and then look up public record. No, so you would want to look for properties that look kind of run down. Some may be empty. Some people may be living in there. What you're looking for is distressed sellers. So it could be so many different things. People that, you know, might be getting divorced, you know, deaths in the family. Someone doesn't want to, you know, deal with the home, or some people may be ready to sell and they don't know they're ready to sell yet. And they really just don't want to take the time at listing, because even though listing a property is easy, it still takes work. You still have to fill out forms. You still have to get with a realtor. And some people are just so lazy that they don't even want to do that stuff. So you would be surprised. So it's like, if you call them, you might be that call that they were waiting for, and they just never knew it. So that's just another way for you to find off-market deals. 1,500, 1,600. So we'll say if a 2-bedroom, 1-bath is going for about 1,500, then a 1-bedroom, 1-bath will probably go for about 12. So you could potentially get 25 to 2,700 a month for this property. Looks pretty good, got some land to it. Interior looks pretty good. Looks like they just did a fresh remodel for it. The floors look pretty new. Paint looks pretty fresh and new. Carpets look good. So just from the outside, bathrooms looking good. So just from the outside looking in, this doesn't look bad at all. This is probably that other unit. That's the 1-bedroom, 1-bath. This side probably can use a little bit of touch. If you want to, it doesn't necessarily need it. But it looks like they did a complete remodel on one side, which is, I'm assuming, is the 2-bed, 1-bath. And then the 1-bed, 1-bath, this is probably how the other side used to look. You could put a little money into it to possibly get full market rent. Got a yard, got a patio. So just off of these numbers on here, and we can go down. I like using these little calculators. These aren't exact numbers. So people always ask me about these estimates, and don't use this to a T. Like I said, this is just estimates and to give you kind of a good, just a good idea. So, and if you were to put 3.5% down, utilizing like a FHA home loan or something like that, it's going to make your payment go up a little bit higher, because you're going to have principal and interest, and you're also putting less down. So you have more mortgage that are more, your mortgage is going to be a lot higher versus if you put that 20% down. So your P&I is going to be a lot higher, your principal and interest. And then depending on what type of interest rate you get, what type of loan you go through, if you do the 30-year fix, there's different loan types. Or if you decide to sprinkle a little bit more on this, if you have the funds. But this is just kind of giving you a general idea. If you were to put an offer in on this property, they accept it. If you were to qualify for the FHA home loan, or a different type of conventional loan or something like that, and you put 3.5% down, this is what you'd be looking at putting. This is what, if you weren't to use any of those down payment assistance. But the good thing about Idaho's, they go up to about 7%. So you could potentially get up to that much down, just depending on what loan and what route you go. You're going to have mortgage insurance. That's what I was talking about. When you put less than 20% down, you're going to have mortgage insurance. So this number is going to fluctuate. It's going to look a little bit different. When you reach out to the lender, they'll give you a better idea of what your monthly mortgage insurance payment is going to be. Property taxes is usually about 1% of the value of the property. That's about nationwide average. So it's going to change based state on state. And then also if you're a veteran and if you're exempt, or certain exemptions based on states, but that's also something that you can get to get a better idea of what your monthly property taxes will be. Homeowners insurance, you can reach out to, any of the, State Farm, Progressive, Allstate, whatever the case may be. Give them this address. You can get a better idea of what your monthly home insurance will look like. It doesn't look like there's any HOA fees on this properties. And then you're also going to be potentially on the hook, because if you utilize the FHA home loan, and you're going to have to live in one side and rent out the other side. So I would recommend living in the smaller side so you can rent out the bigger side and collect more in rent. But at the end of the day, you're still going to end up making out, because you're going to utilize that down payment assistance program. You're going to start building equity, and then you're going to have someone pay a big chunk of your principal and interest. So let's say if these were all your numbers for this property, if your monthly payment was $2,400, and if you were able to get $1,500, you knock off $1,500 on this, that's going to be left what you'll have to pay. And then you'll have them paying down the other portion. After a year of you living in the residence, you're going to be able to move out. And hopefully by that time, rent should still keep going up. So maybe the side that you live in, you're getting, you would be able to get $1,200 right now if you were to move in. By the time you move out, let's say a year from now, maybe that shoots up to potentially $1,400 or potentially $1,500. And then you're also able to raise rent for that 2-bedroom, one bedroom side. Right now, it can go for maybe $1,500, but let's say a year from now, it might go for $1,600 or $1,700. So all in all, you'd be closer to getting about $3,000 a month for that property. And your monthly cost and everything, once you lock in, that's what your monthly payment is going to be. Your taxes will fluctuate over time, and potentially your home insurance will fluctuate over time. And then also, as you start to pay down your mortgage, eventually that's going to change as well. So it's just going to be benefiting you down the line, because rent is going to keep going up. So even if real estate takes a hit, like everyone's saying, the market's going to crash, eventually, yes, it's going to crash, but then it's going to get back to these prices that it's at right now, and it's going to go higher, right? That's the way how it works. If you guys go back, I did a whole class showing like the last 70 years of the real estate market. There's been so many crashes in the last 70 years that if you, I think it was like, if you hold at least 8 to 10 years, even if there was a crash, eventually you'll get back to where your property value was at, and then it will, continue to keep going up. Rents keep going up over time. So all these other benefits. So like I said, you got way more benefits on the real estate side of things than you do negatives. Even, if you got to replace a roof or you got to replace this, like, yeah, that's part of the game that comes with it. But like I said, in the end, as long as you hold, it's going to work out in your favor. Did that answer, everything you were looking for, Justin, or was there anything else that you wanted me to cover, or any other questions that you might have? All right, cool, good stuff. All right. Do any of you guys have any questions on anything that I went over? Hopefully everything made sense. Hopefully you guys learned something new, but do you guys have any questions at all on anything real estate related? It could be, anything that I covered today, or just anything in general. Like I said, this is the time for you guys to let me know so I can get you guys hooked up. All right, doesn't look like there's any more questions. So like I said, I'm gonna hit some of those states that you guys said to me. And like I said, once again, if you guys have a state specifically that you guys want me to look at, let me know, and then I'll cover that state for you guys. I enjoy doing these because there's a lot of great information, like I said, for myself and for you guys that are living in those states. Do you have a deal calculator? No, I don't have a deal calculator that I use. I'm a pen and pad. I like to go off of, I'm a turnkey investor, so that means I like to invest in properties that are ready to go, and then I also like properties that have tenants already in place, so I can kind of see if they're already getting market rents, find out what the market rent is, see if the property, what it needs to get up to market rent, and then I just kind of run my numbers off of that. That's kind of how I do it. There are a bunch of different calculators out there. One of our members, I think he posted one of the calculators that he used. They're all different, and like I said, it's really going to be based on what type of niche that you're looking for in real estate. It's all going to be different based on your area, based on what it is that you're trying to do. If you're following any of the real estate rule of thumbs, it's all going to look different. And like I said, those calculators, a lot of times it's for area specific, so you'll have to tweak certain things and stuff like that. So I don't use any of those calculators myself. But I do know some people that use them and it works great for them. So there's a lot of different ways to do things within real estate. You just have to see what works best for you. All right, if you guys don't have any other questions for me, first and foremost, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to come to class. I appreciate those of you guys that ask questions. Like I said, if you guys think of any questions down the line, or if there's anything specific you guys want me to cover, please feel free to reach out to me in the Discord. You guys can shoot me a DM. I'm in there every single day. Let's see, if you do conventional loan, you have to stay 1 year before you rent out. So conventional is a little bit different than FHA and VA and USDA. Conventional is a lot more flexible, and you can do a lot more with the property versus the other loans. So you have way more flexibility with conventional than you do with FHA and all that, and all the other ones that I covered. But you have to have higher credit, and you also have to have more funds left over after, you know, you pay your down payment, your closing costs, and anything else. So it's you know, I would recommend, if you qualify and can go the conventional route, I would recommend it. Or, you know, if you qualify for the VA, I would recommend go that route, because you don't have to put any money down. And then also, if you can qualify for USDA, go that route, because you don't have to put any money down as well. Or go the NACA route, because they cover everything for you. It's just a little bit more strict what you can do with that property. So yeah, so look at all of them. Like I said, I have classes that have broken down all of those. And like I said, it's going to be more beneficial for each person. Just, it's going to be case by case. Like, I can't say, you know, people always ask me what's the best way to go within real estate. And honestly, it's a very difficult question, because it's going to be based on what it is that you're trying to do. It's going to be based on, you know, the area that you're in. You know, if you're going to, you know, are you going to look to, you know, do the BRRRR method? Are you going to try to wholesale? Are you going to try to fix and flip? You know, are you going to get auction properties? Are you going to look to rent out each individual room? So it's case by case. But to answer your question on that, conventional is a lot different than FHA and VA. So the rules are a lot different, and you have more room to do what you want with the conventional home loans. So if you guys qualify for conventional, look at conventional and see what all those requirements are. And I actually did a class that breaks down, if you were to go FHA home loan versus conventional home loan, based on the amount of property that you're going to get, when it would be more beneficial to go conventional and when it would be more beneficial to go FHA. So go check that class out. It's in the Wealth Squad University section. So that, if that's all you guys got for me, like I said, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day. It's Friday. I hope you guys have a good, safe weekend. Make sure you guys are getting after your goals, just day by day. Like I say, you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to conquer that mountain in one day, right? It's an uphill battle until you start working your way back down that hill. That's all I got for you guys for the day. Like I said, if you guys have anything else for me, just please feel free to reach out. Like I said, I'm in the Wealth Squad every single day, checking my messages, reaching out, talking with you guys. Make sure you guys use the Wealth Squad to network. We have a lot of great people within the squad that are doing a lot of great stuff. A lot of people that don't mind helping each other out. We have realtors, we have real estate investors that, you know, all different types of ways, you know, wholesalers, people that specialize in BRRRR deals, people that specialize in commercial deals. We have a lot in the squad. So use it as your own network. You know, that's why you guys are in here. We're all, you know, in here for the same thing, you know, to get healthier, to get wealthier, get that financial time and location freedom. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next class. Have a good evening.